Are you a South African musician trying to figure out how the SAMRO Portal works? Welcome to this episode where I plan on demystifying just that. Now, the SAMRO Portal is very important if you're an independent musician, especially to register your works and to get royalties from SAMRO. So in this video, I'm just going to give an overarching overview of the SAMRO Portal. So the easiest way to find the SAMRO Portal is to go to portal.samro.org.za. But if you can't remember, just go to Google or whatever search engine, like Bing in this case, you just put in SAMRO Portal. And then you'll see it says portal.samro.org.za. Once you get to this screen, you'll have to put in your username and password. If you have not made up a portal account yet, you have to be a SAMRO member first, and you have to have your relation number. Then you click on where it says sign up. And then to create a new account, you put in your first name, your second name, and then your relation number, email address, and phone number. Make sure you click where it says here, confirm that information is correct, and then you click on submit. It's a very easy process. Once you click on submit, you will receive an email within 24 to 48 hours, and then you'll be able to register. But let's go back in. So I've already made an account, username, password, and now I'm just going to sign in. Now, when you sign in, you want to double check a few things. So they've changed the portal slightly because things change over time, generally speaking. So what you want to make sure is that your name is at the top and that the relation number is correct. Another thing you want to double check is the IP number on the right hand side. Make sure the IP number is your IP number. Now, if you have not received anything before from SAMRO, this section at the top won't be there, or it won't look like this. So there will be some differences. For example, the top performing work, that will most likely change. This will also change depending on how you are working and where your income comes from. So this is the home page, and then live sets as well. So there's various things you can check. Now, over here is just a notice board of things that are current. You can scroll down there, welcome to the portal, and then there's two messages. SAMRO is not particularly great at updating this because look, if you look at the date over here, 2022, some of the things I wish they would improve on to make generally things a little better. And then IPI number, and then notification. Okay, now on the left hand side, this is where you navigate to go to different pages. So this is the home page already where we started. The next one is the search function. Here is where you can search for different works. So works or songs. This is where you search for songs. For example, if you click here, you can search for different artists depending on what you know, the name of the artist, the performing artist, and you can find out the rights holders. So let me just look for another artist. And it takes some time to load up, and then you can see various works by that artist. So this is one way to double check if you have been registered with the person or not. What you also want to check is you can check on distributions, you can check on alt numbers, and then here's another one. There's various songs over here. What you want to check is what's undocumented and what is documented. When things are undocumented, that generally means there may be royalties that are stuck with SAMRO. And if things are new, not sure what that means, but documented really means that the song has been registered. And I know this track because I'm involved in it, so it has been registered. So that's one way to search for an artist or to search for different things within SAMRO. And then that was the search function. So audio visuals, that's usually that's things that are playing on TV, so audio visuals. I'm trying to think of something that I can check. That nothing to prove actually. It might be here. So similarly, you put in whatever the title of the track that you're looking for, and if you see how the works are put in, there's AV at the beginning and then there's SC. So there's different acronyms. I'm not too sure what the SC stands for, but the AV is audio visual, and there's like 5,000 tracks. So you want to narrow down the search if you're going to use this for audio visuals. And then IPI database, this is where you look for different kind of musicians. So I'm just going to use myself here. And then you should be able to find yourself. This is also when you're looking for other musicians. So for some reason I am not on this, so it's a weird one because I'm definitely registered with SAMRO, but you can find other musicians this way. So here's someone who's registered with Gemma, which is the German one. So if you don't know the artist's IPI number, this is a way of searching for the IPI number. If you don't know your own one, this is also a way of checking. Let me just search my surname, because that's weird that I didn't pop up. It just searched my first name. Yeah, so it finds Hakula easily. So what you always want to double check is, for some reason the system doesn't work well when you put in both name and surname. So if you have a common name, go directly surname. I didn't know my name was that common, but clearly it is. But surname usually gets you the results that you're looking for. Okay, now let's go to the next tab on the left hand side. Here we got my music. So here, this is where you check your own registrations. This is where registrations participated in. So that's if someone else notified. So if you have publishers that you work with, they usually show up here. This is where you check if they've registered your works. You can also search SAMRO registrations, and this is also where you send up a new notification of works. I'll do a separate video for that. Registrations participated in. So these are all the tracks that I'm involved in. Again, it tells you, what's interesting is it tells you the source. So this is back when things were paper in 2014, when I started getting my works in order. But I'll do a separate video for that. Own registrations, this is where you check the registrations that you did yourself. 213 registrations. So this is not related to the video at all, but generally speaking, to get money in the music industry, you need a catalog, and 213 is a very small catalog. I have to more or less times that by 5. So when you start getting 1,000 tracks, ideally 10,000 tracks into the system, that's when you'll start seeing proper rewards. That was a side note, but anyway, let's get back to the video at hand. Participations, I'll do a separate video to show you how to look for this. And then let's go down where it says my performances. So on the left hand side, performances is when you jump on stage. So a lot of people don't know that when you're performing, you are entitled to royalties, because you are performing the music in public, and then the venue has to pay for you to be there to do this kind of work. So this is where you notify your works. Not really, this is where you see the reports of where you've performed. I've been typically really bad at performing foreign performances. This is something I actually do quite a bit that I have not been doing, that I should be doing a little more. Over here, so the first one is local reports, so that's in South Africa. Foreign performances, this is where you'd find all the notification of performances that you've done abroad. And then this is where you submit a live performance. So whenever you perform live, this is where you would do it. I'll probably have a performance in a month or so. So when I do one, I'll do a separate video for that. Live repertoire, this is usually where you put in all the songs that you perform live. So you should have all this already, the information for this, and then you say create a repertoire item. I'll do a separate video for that too. I realize I've been neglecting the live performance quite a bit, particularly in my channel. So I'll make a video on this in particular. And a set list is usually a group of songs that you perform together. So this one in particular, I performed in Grahamstown. When I released this album, I performed primarily from this album. Post-COVID performances would be a combination of everything. So it's a set list effectively. So in distribution report, this is where you see how much you're getting. It shows you how to check which distribution names. So there's different payments that you get. the category. So this is the source, so the user. So I'll go a FM or a TV. You can check by distribution, the year that things were sent out. And then as you can see, you can increase this to 100, up to 100. So you can show up to 100 entries. So this is also 896. So this is on a line by line. So every time you get a play or something, they'll just put one line. I typically do. You use this if you want a quick check of what was working, what was not working. I usually get the statements. So if you click on where it says distribution statements, what you see here is the different distributions. You can download the file over here, and this is where you'd get to check your royalty statement. I'll do a separate video where I actually go through one of my royalty statements, probably a TV one, and just to show you what to look out for. I'm not really big into getting into radio, but it's also there's interest into working to radio, but radio is the easier to track numbers. In terms of TV, you don't really know what's playing on TV. It's difficult to track. So this is where you'd get your distribution statements. You can filter this by year, the different kind of distributions. So I'll usually just go straight to there, and then you don't have to put your name there, and which is weird because I did have this, because that's just the wrong year. Of course, that's not going to work. Oh, so you have to just make sure when it says FY25 that it matches up like that, and then search. Then you'll find your distribution. You can download it and then go into the weeds for that. So distribution statements, I use it because it helps me know what is working and what's not working. I'll do a separate, because that's a little more advanced to do that kind of work. I'll do a separate video for that. And then the next one on the left hand side is the undocumented claims. So it's tricky working with the undocumented works, because if you don't know what's happening in there, you have to find out what's happening in there. Let me make that clear. So let's say this was actually my song, right? Don't click on notify work, click on details to see what it's actually saying. You click on rights holders, and then if your name appears here, so it's just taking this because that's my name. So it'll always find, if you have a name like Anga, it'll always find something for you. But if it's not actually yours, you cannot notify the work, because it will be fraud and you will get its time. So jail time, that is. So avoid, ideally you should never have to do this. As a producer who works with musicians, sometimes I'd find tracks that are unnotified. So it's important that you work with everyone and everyone knows what to do in terms of the paperwork when you're registering. And then over here, this is my own registration. No, why is it showing that? Oh, so when you click on undocumented works and says view undocumented works, it kicks you back to your own registration. So this one I think I did this track with Kus. So there it is. So this is a song that we made way back when, and only now. If you know who the performer is, then you most likely are involved. Contact the person, ask them if they sent the notification of works. If they didn't, you can do it directly through the undocumented works. But ideally, you spend as minimal time and don't claim things in the undocumented works. AGM, annual general meetings. This is not really important if you're new and don't really know what's happening in SAMRO. But if you ever want to check what's happening, this is where you'd find those notes. Extraordinary general meeting. This 2025 was a very interesting year for SAMRO. Internal things happening, all sorts. So this is where you'd find that information. The forensic report, that is probably not going to show as I thought. Access to parts. So they've got, sometimes things just don't work. So they've got the tab there, but there's no access to the file. So yeah, SAMRO needs to sort that out. It's on someone's, it looks like it's on someone's, it's weird. You can actually see what's happening. It's on someone's repository, portal models. Yeah, it's on someone's computer. And then documents is where there's actually quite a bit of juice in here. Interesting things. So COVID-19, I'm not going to even bother there. Distribution schedule. So this is the schedule changes every year from July to June. So this is how you know when things are going to get paid. General communication, licensing strategy. So if you really want to go into the weeds of how SAMRO works, this is where I would go in. If you can see unit rates, oh, they've got the unit rates over here. Interesting, SAMRO. I was looking for that. Unit rates, you'd assume they'd be somewhere else because there's a separate tab called unit rates at the bottom, but that's the 2024 unit rates. And then integrated report. So this is, I'm not too sure why it says 2020 there, and then the date is created 2024. Yeah, what I find the biggest gripe I have with this portal is that SAMRO took our money as earners. They took the administration fee, etc., and then they sat and said, okay, let's make a portal that works. The portal works to notify, but everything other than that doesn't seem to work as great because there needs to be a feed and someone has to be maintaining the portal, continuously updating, making sure things are working. The how-to videos, if you want to check these also help. The how-to videos, unfortunately you can't watch them on here. I think you only can download, but anyway, there's also how-to videos inside there of the undocumented works. Procurement, so if you are an entrepreneur per se, this is where you find those kind of things. A request for something, RFP, request for proposals, sorry, there it is there. And now you see like they've got a separate one where they've got proposals and they put an RFP in the procurement, and then in the RFP one there's hardly anything. That's the kind of thing that I struggle with. Request for quotations as well, so I'm not going to download any or all of this. This is probably important if you're new to SAMRO, but it's an old report, 2019. Not much you can do with it now. Can't remember what SRF means, but that's also there. But what's really curious for me is this, the unit rates. Unit rates is basically how much money you get per second, how many rands you get per second a song is being played. So this to me is probably one of the most important tabs in this whole section of documents, but it also seems to be, this one's also important, distribution schedule, and then general communication. Just double check there sometimes because this is what we're looking for, unit rates. And then FAQs, temporarily unavailable, and it's always been unavailable since the portal was around. So there's those kind of things that make it a little frustrating working within SAMRO, but don't be disheartened or these things, they do give money at the end of the day, and the only way to get that money if your music is played on radio or TV is to use SAMRO. Particularly most of your royalties are from South Africa. You can't avoid them, you have to work with them. So register your works, get to know the portal, and get comfortable with it. And I hope you found this video informative. If you found videos like these useful, don't forget to subscribe and like this video.